incompetence has now cost 4 lives.
Looks like it's only a matter of time before Keanu Reeves lands another big comic book movie role. He's reportedly coming back as John Constantine for a planned sequel, which has fans excited. Plus, with James Gunn and Peter Safran's DCU and the separate DC Elseworlds projects, there are plenty of chances for Reeves to jump into other DC roles. A lot of fans are hoping to see him play Deathstroke in a sequel to The Batman. It's not hard to see why people think Reeves would be a great fit for Deathstroke. The character first showed up in DC Comics in 1980, and he's basically like a version of John Wick, just one who goes up against Batman and other DC heroes. Deathstroke has already been portrayed in live action several times. On the big screen, Joe Manganiello played him in Justice League and Zack Snyder's extended cut on HBO Max. At one point, there was talk of Manganiello getting his own spin-off, but that never happened. Over in the Arrowverse, Manu Bennett took on the role, while Esai Morales played Deathstroke in Titans on HBO Max. Keanu Reeves has said multiple times that he'd love to play Wolverine. That's been his dream superhero role. But a few years ago, he admitted he's probably aged out of it, which makes sense since the MCU is planning to reboot the X-Men with a younger cast. They'll likely want someone who can stick around for at least a decade. That said, Deathstroke could be a great fit for Reeves at his current age. Slade Wilson's backstory is pretty solid. At just 16, he lied about his age to join the U.S. Army. After fighting in the Korean War, he got promoted to major and was stationed at Camp Washington. In the early 60s, he met Captain Adeline Kane, who was training young soldiers for the brewing Vietnam conflict. She was blown away by Slade's combat skills and adaptability, quickly falling for him. Seeing his potential, she personally trained him in guerrilla warfare, and in under a year, he mastered every technique. He was promoted to lieutenant colonel, and 6 months later, he and Adeline got married and had their first child. When the Vietnam War intensified, Slade was deployed. During the war, his unit massacred a village, something that deeply disturbed him. He was also saved by an SAS soldier, Wintergreen, who he later repaid the favor to. As part of a secret experiment, the Army gave Slade a special drug that let him tap into 90% of his brain's capacity, boosting his physical abilities and giving him enhanced healing and heightened senses. The goal was to create meta-human super soldiers, but Slade went rogue. After rescuing his friend Wintergreen from a suicide mission ordered by a vengeful officer, he became a mercenary. He kept this life hidden from his family, even from his wife, who was a top-tier combat instructor. Things took a dark turn when a criminal named Jackal kidnapped Slade's younger son Joseph to force him into revealing a client's identity. Sticking to his code, Slade refused and took out the kidnappers, but not before one of them slit Joseph's throat, leaving him mute. After rushing Joseph to the hospital, Adeline was furious that Slade had put their son in danger. In a fit of rage, she shot him, but only managed to take out his right eye. Instead of hiding the injury, Slade embraced it. His mask now has a blacked-out half to reflect his lost eye, and he wears an eye patch when not in costume. Slade has a long and bitter history with the Teen Titans, and it all started with his son, Grant. After getting superhuman enhancements from Hive, Grant took on the name Ravager and accepted a contract to take down the Titans. But the enhancements were too much for his body, and he didn't survive. In response, Slade took over the contract himself. His first major job had him stealing promethium from Star Labs to sell as a powerful weapon. To test its destructive power, he kidnapped the Titans and set them up to be wiped out by a promethium bomb, taking care of business and proving his device's worth at the same time. The Titans managed to escape, but Slade seriously injured Beast Boy while making his getaway, kicking off a personal grudge between them. Later, Slade lured the Titans into a trap in New York by holding officials hostage. The only ones available to respond were Beast Boy and Terra, a new recruit. Terra knocked out Beast Boy and took on Slade alone to prove herself, but he got away before the rest of the team arrived. It seemed like a lucky escape, until it was revealed that Terra was actually working with Slade the whole time, staging the fight to gain the Titans' trust so she could infiltrate them from the inside. During the Judas contract, the Titans put their full trust in Terra, giving her access to all their secret identities. Once Slade had that intel, he used it to take them down one by one, striking at their weakest moments. Donna Troy was gassed in her studio. Changeling was drugged through tainted fan mail. Cyborg got electrocuted in his own home. Starfire was hit with a device that messed with her powers, and Raven was taken out by Terra herself. Nightwing was the last target, but he managed to escape and later discovered that his entire team had been captured. He found Slade's ex-wife and son at Titan's Tower, where they revealed that Terra had been working against them all along. To stop Slade and Hive, Nightwing teamed up with Jericho. During the fight, Slade recognized Jericho as his son, which made him hesitate just long enough for Jericho to possess him and free the Titans. Terra lost control during the battle and ended up dying, and Slade was arrested. At his trial, Changeling, still furious over Terra's betrayal, sabotaged the proceedings so he could take revenge himself. Slade showed up without his costume, ready to face him, but instead of fighting, they talked. Slade explained his past with Terra, making Changeling realize that she had made her own choices. They parted on neutral terms, and Slade went off to Africa with Wintergreen. Later, Slade crossed paths with the Titans again when they were investigating strange disappearances. Donna Troy was nearly killed by mutated beastmen, and Gar Logan spotted Slade at a fundraiser trying to keep a low profile. When he finally confronted him, Slade was about to assassinate the event's host, Walter Lanier, until Lanier suddenly transformed into a bat-like creature and flew away. Slade admitted he had unknowingly helped smuggle the drug that turned people into bestiamorphs. When Jericho and Raven were infected, he helped the Titans destroy the Beastmen and find a cure. Not long after, Slade found himself helping the Titans again during Titans Hunt. Several active and former members started disappearing in a way eerily similar to what happened during the Judas contract. Mento, a member of the Doom Patrol, hired Slade to track them down. Working with Nightwing, Slade discovered that the abductions were the work of the Wildebeest Society, and their leader was none other than Jericho, Slade's own son. It turned out that Jericho had been possessed by the corrupted souls of Azarath, who were using him to capture the Titans and turn them into vessels for survival. In a brief moment of clarity, Jericho begged his father to end his suffering. Left with no other choice, Slade drove a sword through his heart, seemingly killing him to save the Titans. Afterward, Slade continued his mercenary life, but occasionally teamed up with the Titans when bigger threats emerged. One of those times was total chaos, when a team from the future, Team Titans, arrived to assassinate Donna Troy before she could give birth to her son, who would one day become the tyrant, Lord Chaos. Around this time, Slade also met Pat Trace, a former cop who took up the vigilante mantle. The two formed both a professional partnership and a romantic relationship. So, considering all this, Keanu Reeves' possible Deathstroke could show up in the planned Teen Titans movie instead of the next Batman film. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe. We've got more updates coming your way on this and other exciting movies and shows. We'll see you next time.